Oh, hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. You glad to be here?
Oh my God, yeah. Last episode was great. It's only gonna get better.
All right. So, we had a brief discussion yesterday, and you mentioned that when you were watching the movie, you weren't sure if you were Team Gale or Team PETA. And can you just tell me where you landed?
Yeah, I think I'm Team Gale.
Is that purely based on looks?
No, it's not.
Okay, what is it about Gale's personality that really stirs you?
Gale is, he's her ride or die. I mean, he's been around from the beginning, and she doesn't love PETA. Why would I be team someone she doesn't love? She's just using. So for me, like when she came back and Prim was sitting on Gale's shoulders, I was like, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a looks thing, though. I think they're both equal in looks for me.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
They're both quite handsome.
I'm Team PETA.
I got that impression.
That's all I have for you at the start.
Oh, it's a good way to start the day.
Okay, hello and welcome to the Book Watchers Club. It is a club of two, could be more, could be less, we don't know, depends on
It's a club of
day.
us.
It's a club of us, and we watch books, and by that I mean we read books and we watch their adaptations. In each episode, one host has seen both, or done both activities. One generally has only done the watching aspect of this. We dive into it. All things details, all things not details. And I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Ariel.
And today we are discussing the first of the Hunger Games trilogy, aptly named The Hunger Games. And I have to be brutally honest with you, Ariel.
Okay.
The series as a whole, films, probably a yearly watch for me.
Really?
Oh, yes. I would say
That
maybe
makes-
one of my favorite adaptations of all time.
Okay.
And no matter if I'm reading or watching, I am crying. Okay? All right?
Sounds
crying.
right. Sounds correct.
So, I'm going to give you a brief summary.
Yeah.
Just a cute little summary. We all know what we're doing. We are in yet another dystopian version of the good old US of A. This time, it's a society split up by the capital and 12 other districts, potentially a destroyed 13th. We don't know. We know. District 13 was destroyed in the war. A war was fought, a district destroyed, and a rebellion quashed. As punishment and a reminder, one boy and one girl from each district serve as tribute and fight to the death in a yearly televised event known as the Hunger Games. We follow 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen, a member of one of the poorer districts, District 12. It is Reaping Day, which is where the tributes are called. And unfortunately, 12-year-old Primrose Everdeen, her first year in the Reaping, is called. By the last name, I think you can figure out that these two are sisters. Katniss volunteers to take Primrose's place, and she's with the male tribute PETA Malark, a classmate. The two are whisked off to the capital and begin their preparations. On live TV, PETA declares his love for Katniss, which makes them the capital cuties. Just had to put that in there. Once in the arena, Katniss must do all it takes to survive, separated from PETA as he has joined the careers to hunt her down. After a lot of very horrible and gruesome deaths, a new rule is imposed, allowing two victors from the same district, meaning she and PETA could both go home. Right as it is the two of them left, they announce the rule is revoked, which provokes Katniss into having the two of them die by Barry. Obviously, this little ruse works, and they are declared the victors with an uncertain fate ahead. It is a tale of triumph, revolution, and a little bit of love. A little bit of love.
Very good.
Thank you. Anything? I saw you were going for your...
Yeah, I was going for my movie stick.
Let's talk.
I had a quick question.
Would love to try to answer this for you.
Yeah. You're going to answer it while I switch out of the squeaky chair. Two things were not 100% clear to me.
Let's go.
I don't know if I fully understand why they sacrifice two people per district. Is it like just a punishment?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, it is
So
it's
like
fully
you
to be
guys-
like, you are powerless against us. Every attempt you make will
rebelled, and
fail.
so
You rebelled, and this is the 74th annual Hunger Games. They've been doing this for 74 years.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude.
And no one from the Capitol, no Capitol children are included.
Oh,
And
really?
essentially the Capitol has descended into fascism.
Oh,
And
I did not know
yeah,
that.
so it's
I
literally
thought it
just to keep people in line and keep them scared.
So the Capitol's not District 1.
No.
I thought District 1 was like, because they were like, I'm making my district proud, and like the early numbers felt like they were the less impoverished numbers.
Districts 1 and 2 and 4, technically, even though I'm holding up 3 fingers because it's 3 districts, but districts 1, 2, and 4 are districts that are the Capitol's favorite and tend to be a training ground.
Yes.
So those are the ones that consistently win.
Did you not include 3?
Three's not.
A favorite?
Technically, no.
Okay.
So that's why they're called careers. 1, 2, and 4 are the career districts. So 3 also like has strong contenders, but in terms of who's churning out consistent winners, those are the top.
Got it.
3.
And they train to do that.
They normally volunteer too. Like an 18-year-old is normally like, I volunteer as tribute.
Oh.
And so they're
because it's a glory thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's why she was like, our first volunteer, and I'm like, how is this the first time someone's volunteered? This would be a glory thing. And then I was like, why aren't these people training their whole lives for this? But I guess
they
so
don't
it's
have
like
the resources.
They're more survival.
They're kept poor
Yeah.
and hungry. It's terrible.
So then, follow-up question.
Yep.
My dad said to me, he goes, how did they get their name in the thing? And I was like,
yes.
I think my guess was that when they take food from the government or something, every time they do, it puts in an entry for them.
Yep.
And that's why it's called the Hunger Games or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Every year from ages 12 to 18, your name is entered once. Every time you need to go get food, it costs another entry. So that's why Gail's name is in there 42 times.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I think Katniss's was like 20 something, and this was Primrose's first year.
Yep.
They left a lot of the details of 12 kind of out, which it's a really hard world to build when you also have to build the arena and build the other districts. I get it. But like 12 is separated by like a town and then like what they call the seam, which is where most people live. But like Peeta, as like the baker's family, lives like in the town, and Katniss lives in the seam, and they like never interact except at school.
Oh, okay.
And the one scene that
where the bread
where
scene?
he throws her the bread.
Peeta really do it for you?
I love Peeta Mellark so much. In the book. So that is an aspect that is not delved into as much, and they don't ever really give you more of it, but like throughout the series you like realize that most of the districts are kept pretty in the dark, pretty propagandaed and terrified. Like most people don't want to die, especially kids. Like a 12-year-old like Rue.
It was wild because they showed Rue and I went, oh no.
Yeah, Rue is.
I'm like, I thought they were going to be nice by getting rid of Prim, right? Yeah,
Prim.
and then she was there and went, oh no, we're going to see her die.
Mm-hmm. And then there's like there's like another little boy in there that we don't really see. So that's probably the biggest thing is it's not as clear as it is in the book.
Okay.
What's happening in these districts, why their names are in there.
Yeah.
I think
they give them like passing lines that has you put it together.
Yep. Yeah. Which I mean, it sounds like you did.
I did.
Yeah. So
I caught the lines.
Hey, good for you, smarty
Thank
pants.
you very much.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the demographic for this movie when it came out? What was the age range? Because I thought it was like a teenager thing.
Yeah. It's young adult.
Okay.
So it was I would say like 12 to 18.
Because it's a bloodbath.
The book is even more gruesome.
Really?
Oh, some of these deaths are tamer. I cannot wait to talk about Cato.
Amazed by how gruesome it was. Like,
yes, it's for sure PG-13.
Well, because I had heard, I know, but I like watched everybody, you know, this Hunger Games was like for me like Twilight, where I was like, well, I'm not gonna, I don't care, you know, I'm too cool for that one. But when I watched it yesterday, it was like, this is what they've all been watching. This just mass murder that's going on.
Yep.
This is insane. I'm like, this is an adult film. It's not, not really, but like,
no,
yeah.
it is, I mean, it's
very
heavy themes.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like, again, the Capitol is, it's literally fascism.
Yeah.
Like they're murdering people to keep them in line. They're not letting people think anything differently than what the Capitol has taught them. Like Effie, oh my God. No original thought out of that woman's brain.
She the wild looking one? With the lips?
Elizabeth Banks' character, the one who's like
The hair?
Peter Primrose Everdeen.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
she-
No notes on her, by the way.
Is she assigned to the district?
Yes.
I could not figure out why she was always with them until halfway in I went, oh, she's assigned to them. Like it's her district.
Yep, every year she has to read the names and hang out with the
it.
tributes and watch them die, inevitably.
Yeah.
I don't think 12 has ever had a victor. This is like the first time.
Wow.
Oh, no, that's not true. They've had 2. Duh. Haymitch.
Oh, he's from 12.
Haymitch is from 12. He's their only living victor.
Okay.
And then the prequel that came out 2 years ago, 2022, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Okay.
Or Snakes and Songbirds, follows District 12's first ever victor. And
Songbirds and Snakes.
thank you. And I'm going to say this with my full chest. President Snow, they cannot make me love you. I do not care that he was a tortured, horny little boy for whatever the hell her name is in the prequel. I will not. Okay?
That's amazing.
I don't care that he's tortured and hot. Okay? That's it.
That's so good.
Snow, I will never love you.
So they were really trying to give you some sympathy for him, and didn't take.
He's not a tragic hero. Sorry. I mean, I don't think you're supposed to like him, but some people, you know, we always mishear a lesson.
Oh, of course.
So anything else before I go into characters?
No, I think we're okay.
Okay, I'm going to talk about Katniss first.
Yep.
Yeah, naturally.
Got to.
I don't have a lot of notes on
Okay.
Katniss. I would say it's pretty good. In the book, she is a bit rougher, and she's not a very trusting person. And she's not super confident the way she comes off. I guess she doesn't really come off confident in the film either, but I think she's even less confident.
Yeah, I
Like-
think she's rebellious. I don't know. I saw her as your like classic, strong, leading teenage girl.
Right.
You know,
Which is, I mean, is probably closer to the truth than anything else. But she is, like, when she shoots that arrow through the apple in the pig's mouth, inconsolable for days because she's worried that they're going to kill her family for it.
Really?
Yes. Because she knows it was a huge act of insolence.
Oh.
Like she's fully aware she is so aware of what her government is doing that she knows that everything could come back to hurt her family because they can't do anything else to her, right? She's like
I didn't get that part.
Yeah, in the book she's like they're going to kill me and Haymitch is like, "Sweetheart, they're already killing you. Like you're going in the arena in a couple of days."
That would have been a cool thing to experience. But yeah.
And
can't
the
do
book, much like our last book, Howl's Moving Castle, is from her first person point of view.
Yeah.
So we get no other perspectives, and we don't see the world outside of what she experiences. And I'm glad that obviously the movie doesn't do that. I don't think that serves a movie well to only follow one character, especially because when we see the districts rioting, like when we see District 11 riot,
Okay.
one of my all-time favorite parts of the movie. So yeah, in the movie when we see the other districts reacting to her, I think that is vital for everything that comes next.
So things that stuck out for me that I thought made it very well-rounded, which I was saying to you, I thought it was really, really well done. I was like, what did they change? But I did acknowledge you can't do anything, you know, we're not having any scenes that she's not in would not exist. So I'm assuming like when Haymitch is he's like looking at that like kid who's pulling a sword out on his sister, like that's not something, it's a very small scene. It's not that important. But like anything of Haymitch doing things.
Right, when yes, I see the little kids running around the Capitol.
Yeah.
When he's trying to get them sponsors, We know that Haymitch does that because things appear for her in the little parachutes, but we don't see what Haymitch is doing.
And is she watching the like broadcast that they show of the two guys, Stanley Tucci and the other one, like when they're like talking about the Hunger Games and it's time for the candidate?
Yeah, so like when they're being interviewed and stuff.
Yeah, they've got some like kind of like ESPN. They're sitting at a
I would say if it's anytime she's in the arena, no, she's not witnessing that. Yeah. That's just being televised for the people that are watching.
So that's us getting
getting information.
Good. I liked it as an experience.
Yeah. We'll jump to Prim.
Okay.
Because I wasn't going to talk about her very much. I think the movies made her so annoying. Like, so annoying. And, like, she is a little girl. Yeah. Okay, right? She's 12 years old. She's terrified that she's going to get reaped. She gets reaped. Like, it's so scary.
Yeah.
And I think they tried to course correct later in the later films to make her who she's supposed to be. But she's just, like, almost a mini Katniss, just a little softer and sweeter.
Oh.
But she's just a sweet little animal-loving girl whose daddy died in the mines.
Oh, my God.
And in the books, they make her or in the movie, she's just like a little whiny in a way that's not.
She's very screamy.
Endearing.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm endeared to Prim.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I found her to be just a stereotypical little sister.
Yeah, and the town loves Prim.
Really? Yes. Oh, I didn't get any town cohesion.
No, hard.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
We spend, the first several chapters of the book probably not the first several chapters, but at least the first chapter, we're in District 12. We're learning about District 12. She's sneaking through the fence. She's hunting game, Mm-hmm. And then Gail's there.
And there's Gail. I'm getting an impression about how you feel about Gail.
And I want the record to show how I feel about Gail is not how I feel about Liam Hemsworth.
I know that. I know that because I know you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to jump to Peeta. I think he is the character we lose out the most on in the film.
Okay.
He is charming. He is funny. He is quick on his feet when it comes to those interviews and like everything he's doing. He is scared shitless. Like he does cry like the entire time they're leaving the town and when I'm pretty sure. And so he's like, but he is determined to stay alive as long as possible. His mom did say like, looks like we might finally have a winner. Don't mean you, essentially to him.
Oh,
like,
that was nuts when he said that.
That's canon.
That's canon.
And his declaration about Katniss like isn't a tactic.
He's being real.
He's being so for real. And we're supposed to see him heartbroken at the end when he realizes that
she's not in love with him.
She's not in love with him.
Oh, so he at the
doesn't
end of it,
know in the games. He thinks she like legitimately.
Well, yeah, I got that.
Is falling in love with him, but like. In the games, they kind of make it like he knows a little bit that she's. I feel like in the movie,
I felt like
it doesn't come off as genuine.
Oh, I 100% thought that
all right,
he
that's
was
fine.
In it.
He loses his whole ass leg.
Shut up! Really?
Yep, I think from the knee down, at the very least, a whole leg.
That would have made me so upset.
A metal leg at the end.
Okay.
Of the book.
They win the end of it, and he's missing half a leg.
He has to be his leg needs to be amputated basically immediately when they're airlifted out of.
Oh, okay.
The arena.
So he's like really, really badly hurt at the end, and then they get rid of his leg.
Yeah. When she finds him, he's supposed to be like brink of death, blood poisoned. Not going to make it.
Not using special effects to blend himself into the log.
He is blended into the log.
How?
Keep decorating, babe.
How does he have the materials?
I don't know. That's a great question.
The materials. Where did the materials come from? And if you say, well, he just used what he found, I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
I don't think he was that disguised I think in the book he is a little more hidden and it's just like his arm and maybe like half his face.
Yeah.
And the rest of him is like just under dirt.
It was so cute when Rue hides her. So she wakes up and I noticed she had like leaves on her. And I went, that's all Peeta did to hide her? Because I didn't know it was Rue. So I was like, he can do a lot of decorating and then camouflage himself, and he puts some leaves on her hand, and then I'm like, oh, it's Rue,
And
because she's trying, but she's not good at any of this.
It's not to hide her. That's what is curing her tracker jacker wounds, the stings from the bees.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, it's camouflage.
No, it's medicine.
Oh.
Rue is pretty smart.
It's leaves
It's leaves.
to cure her.
To cure her of the tracker jacker venom.
Well then.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
It was a cute story, and now I feel stupid. Go ahead.
I love you for it. And I think as it is with movies, you can't flesh everything out. And I think they had to make everybody like the bare minimum of what they needed to be. But I think like their interactions before the games, during the games, and even a little bit after are like what make you root for them as a potential couple. Like,
oh yeah,
I want them together. Yeah.
Let me be clear. I love Peta.
Sure.
A lot.
No, I understand.
He is great. I love him being like underdog, but he's charming, but he's not awesome at it. He's good enough, but he's not awesome at it. But like, I like him and I respect him. But having only watched the first movie, I'm just like, yo, she's playing you.
Right.
And I can't get past that. And so I can't root for you guys being together.
And I think part of it is that Katniss has a very hard time interpreting what feelings are her own and what actions she needs to take to stay alive. So she doesn't trust that she actually loves Peta. She thinks she's doing it.
Oh.
You know what? She can't even trust. She's never even, when she kisses him, it's the first time she ever kissed a boy. She'd never kissed a boy before.
Okay.
There are so many steps that she has to like, she knows that everything will come back to her and her family. Everything. So part of what she's doing is like, if it's both of us, I need to do whatever it takes. And then like, they're doing all this stuff. And then, so I think some of that dynamic just gets a little lost.
Yeah.
And that is what it is.
It is what it is.
Just wait till the rest of them. All right. Haymitch. Let's talk about Haymitch.
Yes.
In the book, he is falling down drunk. Falls off the stage at the reaping. On the train, he vomits and falls into his own vomit.
Ew.
He punches Peta in the face because Peta smacks a drink out of his hand. He is a violent, drunken mess. And him and Katniss don't get along at all.
They're not buddies?
Oh, no.
They're not like, you're my daughter kind
Nope.
of thing? Oh, okay.
No. What I will say is I don't mind the change to the movie.
Yeah.
I really think Woody Harrelson's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he did. I enjoyed their dynamic and all that.
Yeah, and I think like it's a necessary change in the way that like we need to root for Katniss as soon as possible, and so we need people in her corner.
Yeah.
And I think we also get like a bit more of the anger and defiance from him, whereas like in the book, up until they like really show him that they're not just gonna die, he is like kind of rolled over and accepted that like this is the life that they live, and he has to watch kids die.
I was gonna say,
year.
so is that like kind of his main thing? Is he does this every year and they always die?
That's the job of the victor. The victor is supposed to be the mentor.
So he is like this because it's like re-traumatizing him every year.
Every year.
So why get close to anybody? Because
Yep, and I think that's why he numbs everything with alcohol. They're actually his book, his prequel is coming out this month.
Oh, wow.
And I think they're already in the works for the movie.
Really?
Yeah. And the crazy part is like when Suzanne Collin finished this trilogy, people were like, we want more. And she's like, I'm not going to write it unless like it feels like it's relevant. Yeah. And then we got the first prequel in 2020 and we're getting the next one.
So it's relevant.
And so that's coming. I have no notes for Effie. I think in the book she's not. They fleshed her out more in the movie. Oh, she'll like use Elizabeth Banks, but like when she yells, "That is mahogany," so funny. Like, just kills it. No notes whatsoever. That's all the characters I was going to discuss. Gale's not in the book. Sorry, he's in the very beginning and the very end.
I'm gonna be honest. I was like, I'm like, in the beginning, I was like, oh, we've got Team Gale, Team PETA, cool. And then I'm like, well, Gale doesn't really exist,
Right.
but
He exists in the way Jacob exists in the first Twilight, I guess.
they're very parallel. They're very parallel.
Yeah. And so let's talk changes. Inevitably, they exist.
You gotta make them.
We need to know what did they give? What did they take away?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I wrote this down because it's a change, but like I didn't think it was a big
Deal.
deal. A lot of people talk about it. The Mockingjay pin that
Okay.
Katniss finds in the market
Okay.
and gives to Prim.
Yeah. The whole thing.
No.
Oh,
So
there's
a pin.
okay.
So when she's in her post-reaping room, where they get an hour to say goodbye, not 2 seconds, then you're yelled at, the mayor's daughter, Madge, comes to her. And they've been casual. She's the closest thing they have to friends, I guess, when you know someone could die. Comes in and is like, they allow you to take one thing from your district with you, gives her this pin that's probably worth an okay amount of money because Madge is like...
They're one of the richer ones?
She's one of the... Yeah.
In 12
Yeah.
land.
And gives her the pin and as to represent the district. And Katniss wears it to everything. It's on her clothes. It is important to her.
Oh.
It's a symbol of her district. They don't even explain what Mockingjays are at all in it. And so like that is kind of where...
Do they have the whistling thing?
Yes.
Okay.
The whistle happens. But so Mockingjays were used originally... what was the original bird called? There was some sort of bird that the Capitol designed. Jabberjays, I think.
Okay.
And what they did was they would spy on people and report back to the Capitol. So they used these birds that could like listen and talk, and then they would fly back to the Capitol and say like District 12 is thinking of rioting.
Oh.
So they used these birds, I think during the war, Jabberjays, during war times. And then post-war, they basically released these birds into the wild that like couldn't do anything. They mated with mockingbirds.
Oh.
And now there's an abundance of mocking-jays, which can't speak, but they can carry the tune or the like they.
Interesting.
So people now use those mocking-jays to communicate, and so it's showing that like in the Capitol's I don't know, belief that everything was fine. Them just like releasing those birds and not thinking about the consequences, and now the mocking-jays like it becomes a symbol of the revolution.
God.
So I guess it's important. You know what? After the bullshit I said at the start, really important actually that we talk about mockingjays.
So it's okay.
So I'm glad they kept the pin in and like Cinna putting it in her jacket.
Yeah.
But like she doesn't need to be quiet. You're allowed to bring something.
Oh.
Like it's not supposed to be this like, shh, I did something spooky. I did something spooky in case you didn't hear that. It's like she's allowed to have it and she wears it the whole time. And like she's like, it's a symbol of my district. And it's like,
I'm with you. I'm
okay,
with you.
all right. And I think like I even wrote how they could have done this without us needing to know who the heck Madge is.
Okay.
Could have just been standing next to her at the reaping in her little reaping dress with her pin, right?
Yeah.
Could have been wearing the pin, standing next to Katniss when Katniss like runs, like horrified when Prim's called and like looks to Katniss and Katniss like runs to volunteer, whatever. She could have then come in and been like, you can bring one thing. We don't need to know who she is.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'd complain that this random woman did it, but...
Yeah, I mean, or what they could do is Prim could bring it and say, Madge gave this to me to give to you. Or, I don't, like, there's a way to do it where, like, we know that it's important. That pin doesn't feel important. The last book is called Mockingjay. We need to know what Mockingjays are.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
I felt like it was well, I also know that Mockingjays are important. So I think when I saw it, I was like,
Rue
oh, well,
gives
there
us-
we go.
I
Well,
think-
and I've lived in this world for the last 15 years or 10 years or something. So
Sure.
I've heard Mockingjay so many
Yeah, I
times.
see what
When
you
I
mean.
saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, that thing.
So I would say once they're in the Capitol, all of that goes by much faster. I think they're supposed to be there for like a week,
Okay.
getting prim and proper. Cinna is
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, good.
Perfectly acted, perfect
Lenny Kravitz
character.
did what he needed to do.
Obsessed with him, so obsessed. And so I would say most of that is fine. PETA doesn't throw a giant piece of metal to make people scared of him.
Oh, to show he's strong?
Whatever.
I felt like that was such an ineffective display of anything. I was like, oh.
Except
okay.
we get Kato going, "Oh," and then they're like, the
I
career's kind of like.
I didn't think they were impressed by him. I felt like they were like, great.
Like, I don't know if they were impressed, but I think they realized that he wasn't going to be as easy as a target as they expected. I think that was the point.
Okay.
The scene where they have to show off their strength.
Yeah.
Katniss is supposed to go last. Peeta's not supposed to go in after her. Duh. Don't know why they changed that order because
doesn't make any sense. It's not necessary.
I mean, I guess
no, I'm going to be honest. I thought it was weird.
Yeah.
I was like, why is Katniss not last? Because it feels like the finale moment.
Yep.
And the fact that Peeta was there, I was like, that's not necessary.
The only thing I can think is it forces them to then pay attention to Peeta to see if he's just as
interesting
mad.
Yeah.
But the scene all the way down to the thank you for your consideration,
totally accurate.
Canonical.
Might be my favorite scene.
It's incredible.
It's a great scene.
The bow.
It's so good. It's so awkward and awesome.
But then as we were discussing, post that scene, she's having a meltdown. She's not celebrating with Haymitch that she's like some badass who made the Capitol pay attention to her. She's like, they're going to kill my sister for me doing that.
I would have loved that.
Right?
I would have loved to see that.
The Capitol needs to be scarier.
Yeah, I agree.
mean, Snow is plenty scary.
No, he's not. He's scary when you've seen the rest of the movies, I think. I don't think he's scary at all. Like, I get it. I'm like, he's scary in the way of he doesn't care about these people and blah, blah, blah. But, like, I was like, I remember you saying, like, he's a villain.
Yeah,
like,
you're right. We don't really have it.
I was like,
this movie is setting us up for
his
the villainy
real
that is. I don't want to spoil anything in case you do decide to watch the rest of them. I highly recommend it. But we'll talk about the premise of the second book at the end of this because we don't need you guys. Maybe we'll do it. Who knows?
Who knows? If you want it, leave it in the comments. If we get to like, I don't know,
30 views, I'll do it.
Dear sweet Lord, that's it? Perfect. 30 views is all we need.
Chelsea loves this series enough that it could be no views.
The
and I would be like, let's do
is
it.
low, people. If we don't hit 30 views, let's turn the channel off. All right, keep going.
So once they're in the games, Katniss almost dies of dehydration 3 days in.
Shut up.
She can't
She
find
told
water.
her to go to water.
Well, so the thing is, there's the lake, and that's where a bloodbath would be. And then there's no water for 3 days worth of walking, essentially.
Oh.
And she, at one point, she's like, oh my God, Haymitch is just going to let me die. Like, that's what she's thinking. She's like, I must have a sponsor. She got an 11 on her thing. She's the girl on fire. Like, the Capitol loves her because of her, like, that, and she's like, desire. Like, she's like, how the hell am I not even worth water? And then she thinks, if he's withholding it, I must be close.
Oh.
So her and Haymitch are actually, I think
That's
the
really
thing
cool.
is they're really fucking similar.
Yeah.
Like they're very similar personalities, which is why they clash so much. But what they did instead was made them click rather than clash.
It's a good point. It'd be hard to convey.
So hard. So she finds the water, but that doesn't happen.
It's not important.
Not important. And then her partnership with Rue.
Yep.
For sure happens completely, basically the way that everything happens.
You know, the whole leaf thing.
But we get. So what would have made more sense is if they just kept the scene that was in the book, in the movie, which is her and Rue finding each other after she drops the tracker jacker nest on the careers. Her and Rue end up reconvening, but like not on purpose. She's like hunting and finds Rue and is like, I'm not going to kill you. It's fine. Love you, kid. You're adorable. Feeds her. And then Rue's like, I can help with this.
Oh, yeah, if we had said those words while they're eating.
Choose the leaves and sticks them on her. And she's like, normally we need water. Sorry that I have to use my mouth. But explains that, like, it's going to help suck the venom out.
That would have made a lot more sense.
Instead of her just waking up with greenery on her.
She's like, I switched your leaves. I was like, doesn't feel necessary. Yeah. She's supposed to blend in. You're doing a bad job anyway. Nope. Got it.
No, it's medicinal, purely medicinal.
Got it.
Yep, and they could have just kept that. We also... Her and Rue talk a lot about their districts. She
Oh.
learns what that Rue's district is like agriculture, and she spends a lot of time in the apple orchards. They talk about the mockingjays, but she learns like the extreme poverty they're in. And in Rue's district, it's like brute force to keep them in line. Whereas like in District 12, the peacekeepers actually like kind of let them get away with a lot. They let them have a black market. They let them hunt outside of the fence zone.
Oh, yeah, peacekeepers. They were mentioned briefly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrible name for
Oh, yeah, of course.
the most violent army in the world, but cool. But Katniss has this revelation, and again, so hard to convey, so like I can't blame them for kind of ignoring it, but she has this revelation that if the districts were able to communicate, things would be a lot different. And she's like, the Capitol probably hates this right now. They're probably not airing any of their footage because they don't want people to see that they're learning about each other. She knows that them even just talking about it is a huge act of defiance. Katniss goes deaf in her left ear after that explosion. They just ignore that.
I just love that, like we're cruising, things are going good. He lost a leg. And we're cruising, things are going good. Everything's all right. She's deaf.
I mean, you know. She's supposed to be deaf in her left ear for the remainder of the games after that.
Wow. I mean, it would make sense when she got blowed up.
When she got blowed up.
I was like, that's it.
And that's supposed to be horrifying because she relies on her ears to hunt.
Oh.
It's supposed to be like
a big scary moment.
A big scary moment. And she's like, I won't hear anybody coming up behind. Like she never, and she's like always snapping, trying to see, and she can't hear anything. It's the Capitol doctors fix it the same way they give Peeta a metal leg, but she's supposed to be deaf. Peeta's home is violent. His mother beats the crap out of him.
All right, I got a hint of that.
Not enough.
I got a hint. I got when it
bread.
was, yeah, it was like we ran through the bread scene, like I think it was like the third time or something, and he's like, I should have done something, and then you kind of watch like his mom yelling at him, and I'm like, oh, so he gets beat.
He burnt the bread on purpose to give it to her.
Oh.
Because she's supposed to be like, I
didn't fully get also the whole her being starving thing.
So that scene is supposed to... So do you remember when her mom and Prim come to say goodbye to her and she like yells at her mom and is like, you can't... Okay, so the context for that we don't ever really get. When her dad died, their mom went catatonic.
So I did understand that.
Okay.
I did. But it was subtle.
But to the point that Katniss and Prim were going to die of starvation. Yeah. That's how catatonic she was. Okay. So that's like, it's supposed to be like 12-year-old Katniss or something. Okay. Dying by a tree, basically. She's like on the verge of death when Peeta throws her that bread.
Got it.
And he burnt it on purpose, enduring the wrath of his mother, knowing that she was going to beat the crap out of him to give her the bread.
Why was he giving bread to the pigs?
Because his mom said, because he burnt it, so she said, give it to the pigs. Oh. And so that he knew that he'd be able to get outside and like...
Got it. Okay, that's...
And then he like threw the bread to her in the rain.
That's not fully clear.
Nope. No. The other thing that's not clear, and again...
Okay, what are you going to do?
Not important. When she's in her little room before she's transported to the Capitol, the first visitor she gets is Peeta's dad. Oh. And he brings her cookies and is like, I will keep your daughter, or your sister. Daughter. He's like, I will do whatever I can. It's not supposed to be
Gail's job?
It is too. Gail also comes in. Oh God, when she says don't let them starve, to Gail. But he's like, I'll do all I can to take care of your family. Peeta's dad was in love with Katniss's mom. Oh. And Katniss's mom picked
dead dad.
Dead dad.
One of those.
Peeta tells Katniss that story.
One of those.
Yeah. Okay, so here's some things we do get.
All right.
Oh, actually, one more thing we didn't get.
All right.
2 more things. District 11 sends Katniss a loaf of bread after she doesn't really bury Rue.
No, but after
she like puts the flowers in her hair and like in her hands and like does the whole They and apparently it's highly expensive for districts to send something to a contestant in the Hunger Games.
Oh, wow.
And her initial thought was that it must have been for Rue. And it's like for her. And what they do instead is they show District 11 rioting, which just as effective.
Yeah. But that's not in it. They don't riot.
We don't know.
Oh, we don't know. Okay, good point.
The word on the street, yes.
Okay.
This is like the Hunger Games that made the districts go
nuts,
which is why the 75th annual Hunger Games is insane.
Okay.
But so one other thing that was completely omitted are these people in the Capitol called AVOXs. They might mention them offhand one time, but it's essentially someone whose tongue has been cut out, and they're just servants of the Capitol. And so generally this happens if you have been caught trying to escape your district or anywhere. And the reason our introduction to this is jarring and horrible because Katniss recognizes one of the girls that is like serving them food when they're at the Capitol. And she's like, I know you. And they're like, it's impossible. She's an AVOX. There's no way you know her. And like the people don't know, like, they think they're like mute just for fun. Like, people don't, like,
they don't put it together.
They're not putting it together. And Peeta ends up like doing her a solid and be like, looks just like Patty from our district. And she's like, oh, and yes, thanks. Doesn't, right? And then she realizes she recognizes her because her and Gale were hunting and they saw her and a boy running. And the boy got shot with an arrow and she got like hover lifted. Oh. And that's the girl.
So they were trying to escape their district.
And we don't know what district they were coming from either because they weren't 12.
Interesting.
But so like you get them later on. We learn who they are later. But just another way that the Capitol's like, yeah, we're in charge. Yeah. Have fun. What we get, world building beyond Katniss's point of view. We get the rioting. We get the ESPN coverage that is awesome.
It's really cool. It's fun.
Seneca Crane and President Snow do not exist in this book.
It was so funny when he walked into the room and then they like left the berries for him. He closes that door and they just go, "Oh no, he's gonna die." He's
masterful.
Gonna die.
Masterful, in my opinion. I also think I don't have anything left to say.
That's all right.
So yeah, President Snow.
He doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. I think
our favorite Canadian is not in this yet.
No. Adding him in though is a good tactic for the rest of the story going forward.
I agree.
Like it would make no sense if suddenly we meet him movie 2 and he's big bad and we don't know who he is at all.
Yeah.
And knowing that he's the one that locked Seneca Crane in that room, right? The whole time he's he's telling Seneca, like, I do not like this. And it's like, it's fine. Like, they think she's just like a dumb girl. I did think
it was interesting that he was like, you're making the wrong choice, but then he kept making it.
So I think Snow is fully aware that Katniss is fully aware of what she's doing. Like, Katniss knows every act that she has done has been against the Capitol.
Okay.
The berries, that wasn't an act of desperation. She knew that she was making them look stupid, right? Or when she buries Rue when she does that, she knows that they're going to be pissed. But but the whole time she's thinking about like Peeta saying, I don't want them to change me if I'm going to die. Like, she's thinking about those words as well and kind of showing the Hunger Games for what they are, which is a bloodbath.
Dude, and
it's murder.
When those kids run out and he was like, don't go towards the supplies, I wasn't expecting it. I was not expecting the just murder rampage. I was flabbergasted.
Yep.
Oh my
and
goodness.
that's toned down.
Yeah.
When Thresh kills Clove, he bashes her head in with a rock. He doesn't just bang her against, cornucopia is all wrong, guys. It actually is supposed to be a gold cornucopia. It's supposed to be a cornucopia instead of this weird airline-looking thing.
The hub thing?
Yeah, it's a cornucopia, and it's supposed to be this golden horn that looks like a cornucopia. Like, that's the whole point.
Oh.
It's supposed to look...
And then the supplies
Yes.
I thought it was just sort of a building. It was just a building. I
do have another thing I want to say.
What you got?
Cato.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Chelsea had a little crush on that guy.
I can believe it.
He's terrible.
I can believe it, though.
But that actor really did it for me. I was like, correct. We've nailed it. Like,
Correct.
I am so scared of him, but also like...
At the end when he dies, is that real? Like when he's like...
We're going to talk about it.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
I think it was always going to be this way. I was always going to die. I think that's
Okay.
not in the book. I could find out. But the mutts, the dog that's chasing him.
Yes, that they just drop in.
There's supposed to be like 11 or 12 of them.
Okay.
And at one point, Katniss realizes that their eye color and fur color correlates to the dead tributes.
Oh, that's freaky.
So they call them, like they're mutations, but they're mutations. And that's like,
oh, God.
It's supposed to be they somehow used the bodies of the dead tributes to make those creatures.
Oh.
And when Cato falls,
Yeah.
he's down there for like 2 days. Because the mutts won't actually kill him.
I was wondering
They're
why...
using him as like, I don't know, a chew toy, and he is suffering.
So they don't kill him?
She ends up putting an arrow through his head out of
After
mercy.
2 days?
Like a day and a half, yeah.
I am so glad we didn't have to sit through that for 2 days.
Right.
That's horrific.
I mean, she still gives him, essentially mercy kills him, right?
Yeah, but she could have mercy killed him right away. That's
well,
horrific.
I think her and Peeta really didn't want to be
kill anyone,
killers.
yeah.
And at one point in the book, or maybe...
But doesn't she kill someone early on?
Well, she kills Glimmer, technically, with the Tracker Jackers.
Yeah.
But that's like her own...
I thought she
and then
shot
she
someone
kills...
with an
Well, she
arrow.
kills Marvel when he kills Rue.
Okay, I thought she shot someone with an arrow
Yeah.
earlier on.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
There's
a lot of
She doesn't get
shooting.
the arrows till she kills Glimmer.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good point.
So they climb. Cato does have the hand thing happens
The hand thing?
where she shoots him in the hand with the arrow
Oh,
instead
yes.
of killing him.
Mhm.
But I think what happens is when she hits him with the arrow, he realizes that Peeta's tapping his hand. So Cato figures out what's about to happen, and to avoid it, like pushes him away, ends up like falling to the mutts.
Got
so
it.
no, their conversation doesn't happen, but that conversation I think is also important because it was likely televised.
Yes.
Because it's like the final three.
thing. Oh my God, that's
So-
a good point.
And I do think at one point in the movie they do refer to killing someone as murder, which that's a no word because that
Implies that
is-
something bad is happening?
yeah. Yep. So I think the movie nails it.
Yeah.
I think like the things that got changed in the long run, like we get the Mockingjay propaganda that happens on Katniss's side of things. Again, I don't want to spoil the rest for you, but I didn't need to see Katniss almost die of dehydration. I need to get to the end of the movie where they're both alive. But that's all I've got. What do you?
So
Q&A.
I'm glad that it was generally accurate because it felt very complete.
Yes.
It did not feel confusing. It didn't feel like things didn't make sense. You know, I've done 2 movies now where they kind of go, let's go that direction.
Right.
I was like, if this is doing that, I would be surprised.
Yeah.
Felt very cohesive. It reminded me of reading And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie.
Sure.
Because I was like, I'm about to watch a movie where the entire time I'm going to look at everybody and go, you're going to die.
Yes.
I'm going to watch a movie where people are just picked off and killed. Though I think And Then There Were None is a much more difficult, for me, like,
Yeah.
I love And Then There Were None, and I hate it at the same time
Sure.
because it's horrific. This wasn't as haunting.
Yeah.
But, I was surprised by how violent it is because it's so popular, and, like, little girls are dressing up as Katniss for Halloween, and I'm like, they're all dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
I'm thrilled to hear that.
Good.
Because it's, like I said at the start of this, it's probably one of my all-time favorites.
I do want to know, like, how on earth do they continue this? Is it like
right.
we get like another Hunger Games and
Yep.
she's now a mentor?
All right, we'll do it.
I looked up the birds that you were talking about, the Jabberjays,
Mm-hmm.
and then so they gave me. Apparently, if you look up Jabberjays, you're also trying to find out about Katniss. So I know that her and Peeta get married. Because it says spouse, and then unknown daughter, unknown son.
Yeah.
No names.
Very much the epilogue of the entire series.
Yeah.
A blip.
It's very, you named your kids Severus and Albus.
So, President Snow's pissed. He is pissed that Katniss made them look bad.
Okay.
So he decides for the 75th annual Hunger Games.
Does he put her back in? I knew it.
So what he does is instead of reaping from the children, it's essentially like an all-stars game.
I knew it.
He reaps from the winners of other districts.
I knew that's what had to happen.
And you know what that does? Makes people angry.
Really?
The actress I really like, Jenna Malone.
Yeah.
Her character, Joanna, is pissed. When she's doing her interview, she's like, she's like, I already did this once. I thought I was done. And like, that's kind of the sentiment of everybody. And then some things happen that I will not tell you because it's incredible. And whose his face is in it? So obviously they need a new game maker. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, yes.
Is the game maker in the second one.
He's probably great.
He's so good. And we get a lot more of Snow being generally evil.
I knew it. I was getting dressed this morning and I went, oh, they're going to do an all-star game.
Yeah.
Like they're going to make her go back in. Does Peeta have to go back in?
Mm-hmm.
All with his meadow leg.
So Katniss and Haymitch make a deal.
Okay.
That if Peeta's name gets called, Haymitch is going to volunteer in his place.
Oh.
Problem is, Haymitch's name got called and Peeta volunteers for Haymitch.
Shut up. What a jackass.
He chooses to, and everyone's pissed.
Oh my God.
And they have to Snow does not believe that Katniss loves Peeta because
I wouldn't.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
Yet.
Obviously she will.
I mean, she married, whatever.
She married him.
But, it's so good. So we get the sugar cube scene.
Oh, God. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Dude, you sent me that gif, and I went, what's happening?
That is Finnick O'Dare, my love. What a great name, too. And so then things happen.
Yeah. Things happen.
Maybe District 13 is existing. I don't know. You have to watch it and find out.
I didn't even know District 13 wasn't existing.
Yes, you did. It's the destroyed district.
I did not know that.
You did, I promise. I said it at the beginning.
I know you told me, but I didn't know it happened in the movie.
They say it in the movie.
Well, I didn't get it. So, no, I didn't.
Yes. So that is the Hunger Games. Catching Fire is the sequel that has the 75th annual Hunger Games. Does Mockingjay have Hunger Games? You'll have to find out.
Jeez Louise. It's really stretched.
Oh, it's so good. And they did break it into 2 parts.
Of
Sorry.
course. Yeah, wow.
That's how we did finales back then. Between Twilight, Harry Potter, Hunger Games.
That's how we did it.
You gotta.
And you know what? I think sometimes it helps.
I think so, too.
Yeah. Now they're moving into the miniseries world. Or what do they call it in America? Special edition series or something like that. Netflix is always like, it's a special or a limited edition series.
Oh, yeah,
like,
a limited series.
A limited series. And I'm like, that's a fancy way to say it's a mini-series.
Yep, that's a really good point.
You just don't want to use the Brit word.
Well, thank you, Ariel. Did you have any other questions?
I had no other questions. I've picked my movie for next episode.
Oh, yes, tell me.
I moved things around. Mm-hmm. I pushed one episode off. We're going to do, because, I just want to stay angry.
Yep.
We're doing Rebecca.
Oh, okay.
Yes, with the very problematic Army Hammer. But I'm going to be honest, guys. I say this I've said it once an episode in my episodes. I'm going to say it again. I love Rebecca.
The book, right?
That book. I love it so much. I love No Name. I love it. Oh my God. And then I watched the movie. And I haven't even finished it. I got so angry I turned it off.
Oh. So you still have to watch it.
I also had other things going on. But I was just like, you know what? I don't need to watch this because of the yellow suit and I was angry. And so we're going to watch it together.
Yep.
We're going to do it together. So I think you're going to like it.
Great.
I plan on hating it, and that'll make good content. I'm also excited I get to read it again.
Well, I love that for you. I love that for me. I love this journey we're on together.
Great.
Well, thanks for another fabulous episode. Thanks for being part of our very exclusive club.
Yes.
All 30 of you. Ethel.
And Ethel.
Keep hanging on. Keep hanging on, girl. If you liked this episode, please consider reading and watching other ones. We're on basically every podcast platform I was able to.
What up?
We're on so many that we're on ones I don't even know. Maybe I'll add that to the description. And as we always say, keep reading.
Keep watching. Mwah.
Oh, I should have done the.
Oh, you can do it again.